say?
Hi, this is Anthony from West Coast Custom Concrete. This video will be on a back sidewalk and a monolithic pour with a retaining wall. That was my little daughter Sam there. We're digging this out. We had to block it off with plywood and shore it up because we're digging a sidewalk back here with a stoop or a porch when you come out the back door. And we put a monolithic retaining wall connected to the sidewalk to retain this hillside. And there's just so much dirt here. We had to take out about 4 or 5 more bins, 6 bins of dirt off this property because it's going to go to 2 to 1 from where Javier is up top to down here to the back of the house, the entry. The exit. That door is the back door of the house. So we're going to set up a stoop out of the back door with 1 step off of it, a sidewalk. We got drains. So we're just getting all the fall here, and we're going to use about 2%. When you pour a concrete or you're a concrete guy, water can be your mortal enemy because if water drains towards the house or you have standing water, it's not acceptable. In California, you have to tear it out because you can get mold into the house and create black mold, and you can't have standing water. So all your elevations, it's all got to flow away from the house. There's the retaining wall I put in. It's a seated. It's just gonna be a 2 foot. You can sit on it too. It came out really nice, but it's got to retain that hillside. And here I am. I brought my pump. Gonna pump this down. We're gonna pump that wall pretty stiff, and then when we hit the sidewalk, we can add a couple gallons in this. But we'll pump it at about 3.5, 4 that wall, and just stack it in it. A monolithic's when you tie the rebar from the wall into the slab, so it's one piece. It'll give it shear strength to hold the wall. If any dirt or any hillside slides down or anything, that wall will not move. I'm just clamping everything up. Tight jobs like this in the backyard, you have to strip that wall. You have to face it. You have to edge everything. You have to cut joints. You got to have about 4 guys on it. It's about 8 yards. But each guy I bring has a detailed itinerary of what he's going to do. Nobody gets in each other's way. One guy knows he's edging. One guy knows he's screeding. Guy knows he's cutting joints. Another guy knows he's stripping the wall and facing it. They know who's going to broom it, who's checking elevations. Here I am. I'm priming my pump out. Chuck gets the mud perfect. I'm going to pump this wall first, and then I'm going to put a gallon or 2 in it so everything goes off in sequence. Once the wall starts going off and we're stripping it, we're already skating our second pass on the sidewalk. Just got to stack this in there without blowing it out. And you can whack the sides with a hammer so there's no honeycomb. And if you oil the forms, they'll strip off and they won't honeycomb at all either. So you want to oil the inside of the form. You can use WD-40, diesel, motor oil, whatever you have. There's the porch there, right there where I'm standing. I had to get 1 step in it. I tried to do it without that step, but it would have went above the weep screen. If you pour concrete above a weep screen, you can get water into the house. You have to stay below it by code. So we put a step in it, and no water can go in the house. And there's no way to get the water out without the drains. So we had to put a couple drains on each sidewalk. And then I came back and I put a corrugated drain behind that wall to catch all the hillside wall. And it has holes in the drain, and you put gravel over it so it'll catch all the water. And Patrick from Green Tech's going to do the landscaping, so he'll get the grade and he'll put netting on the hillside. It'll look really nice with the landscaping and the trees. Tight areas like this are tough. There's the stairs I poured there. And the next video after this one's a huge staircase from the back of this porch that I did to the street. I'm going to tie it into this porch. The next video I do. See how tight this is? You just turned on the pump. You go as quick as you can. You got a guy hand floating against the house to try and get to the edge. Javier will come in and bull float behind him. Felipe is screeding, rotting it. And that's how tight it is. But man, did this come out perfect. See, he's screeding it and he's rotting it, or whatever you want to call it, and he's rechecking it with a level that's all flowing to the drains. The heights have got to be perfect. There can be no standing water, no water running towards the house. I mean, if you don't do it right and you don't get the elevations or right, it could be catastrophic because you'd have to tear this out. And this is 70 feet straight down the side of a hill. I mean, how do you demo this thing out if something went bad? Has to be perfect. If you watch the guys that Javier bull floating, Felipe's rodding and screeding and hand floating everything. The guy behind him's catching all the edges and edging. I have Milton and Jefferson pulling the hose with me, my regular guys. And you got to do it really clean. It's got to come out plush. And there's no fast way to do this. See, he's rechecking it because we'll get back in there and re-rod it, re-screed it if he has to. It's happened before, but as long as it gets done. And you got to bull float this from a couple different angles. Choose a wooden bull float on it. Now me and my guys are dragging this hose up. I'm going to wash my pump out. In California, they have a washout hook. You just hook it to your hose with a clamp, throw it up in the truck, and pump water through it. Because, I mean, you cannot pump this or get this stuff on the ground or in the street. It has to leave the property. So you just pump it back in the truck. The ready mix truck dumps it into a washout pit at their plant anyway because they had extra concrete or, in their drum. They have to rinse their drum out. And I'm just rolling my system up here and gonna chill out and help them strip and do different stuff here and make sure everything recheck elevations. Like I said, you might want to check out the next video. From right where Javier is funny trailing all the way to the street, I put a massive staircase in tied into that porch right there where the guy with the hat is where Felipe is. Now you gotta really strip these without breaking a corner off or something and try and get in there and strip it out. It's a balancing act, but these guys are used to it. They've done way worse stuff than this. This isn't worst case scenario, but it's pretty difficult. Use an upper step tool on the edges of the pour in place wall to catch the edge where it hits the face and the top. Now they're getting down on it. We got Milton edge catching the edges there, the joints. You got to put joints in the wall too. This is a 3,000 psi with straight cement. Like I poured the whole job so it'll all look in sequence together as far as aesthetically the color of what it looks like. And microfibers. There's that step we had to get in because we couldn't get the elevations without it. So that's his last pass as he's coming out. As far as on that porch and steps, because he's brooming it, so he doesn't have to go back in there. Javier's catching this broom up this side, which I guess for this property is decent access. If that isn't the best in the West, I don't know what is. Thank you very much for watching my video.